It's been nearly 6 months since the riot broke out at the border in El Paso, Texas in March, and we have since learned through Texas Governor Greg Abbott that over 100 of the individuals involved in rioting at that moment were actually suspected Tren de Aragua gang members. Now, this is something that Abbott revealed yesterday as he broke down new state initiatives to tackle the gang's stronghold in the United States and specifically Texas. He mentioned that they've been moving migrants through smuggling efforts in Juarez, Mexico, through El Paso, Texas, where the riot broke out just a few months before. Now, we witnessed this riot firsthand, saw hundreds of migrants amass at the border before quickly turning on the soldiers who were keeping them at bay down there. Not much was known at that time about those migrants other than that they were mainly from Venezuela and had been waiting to come into the United States, hoping that once Border Patrol apprehended them, that they would be released into freedom. More than 200 of them faced rioting charges by the state, but those were quickly dismissed. Many of them were handed over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and dozens were then released into the United States. It's not clear if those gang members were released as part of that group, but what is known is that Tren de Aragua members have been released into the country in the last couple of years to wreak havoc in the United States in places like Aurora, Colorado, where they're taking over apartment complexes, as well as in El Paso, where they are operating stash houses out of local hotels. In places like New York City, they've been shooting cops and smuggling those guns used to carry out their crimes into migrant shelters in food delivery bags. Much has been brushed under the rug by state and local leaders facing these issues, including in Colorado, where the governor there has told us that this is imagination, that they've been taking over apartment complexes. And now Governor Greg Abbott in Texas, in contrast with that, is taking his own actions to go after the gang, seeing that they're likely here to stay. The United States right now doesn't have diplomatic relations with Venezuela, which is now refusing to accept deportations from the United States. So many of them have removal orders but can't get deported at the moment. And Texas is not a welcome place for them now. He says he's designating the group as a foreign terrorist organization. He's increasing the penalties and trying to work to seize some of the assets of Tren de Aragua members. He's also looking to create his own database of Tren de Aragua members and is using state law enforcement to collect intelligence on them because the United States doesn't have access to those foreign databases or information on the Tren de Aragua gang and its criminals operating globally. Now, looking back on the migrant riot as the only outlet on the ground when that broke out to record it, it's something that is shocking but not surprising because we saw how violent and brazen those migrants were when they amassed and took down those soldiers. But it's now clear that they were also part of just an organized effort and an organized criminal gang, allegedly, that took part in something much more nefarious.